I'm sorry that I have such a good time with my friends. Fuck me, okay? My cheeks hurt from smiling, okay? Why? What's so funny about
Well, because
that?
normally his cheeks... Fuck me, my cheeks hurt.
My cheeks... You like that laugh?
Oh my god, I've never seen Levy die this.
I don't even know what he's laughing at, to be honest, but his laugh was so silly.
My laugh just randomly happens. Always weird. Always different when I get really giggling. And then your reaction.
To your
I
laugh?
heard it, yeah, and then I saw your reaction and that took me.
That's the worst. Dude, this one time in a history class, in Bo Hansen's class, Brian and I, so we had a mock trial for like really putting America on trial for something, right? And Brian and I decided to be the prosecuting attorneys. So we were going against America. We were going to say America's bad, blah, 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 blah. And it was me and Brian, right? And we're kind of shitheads, right? Yeah. And the defendants were like, you know, those girls in class, like they like take everything seriously, like they take notes in like different colors, like they have their shit together, right?
Yeah, it's successful people.
Very smart girls, right? And so, we
very smart people, really.
And so we went up to do our opening statements. And Brian and I went up and kind of winged it, right? Because it's almost like, because you have, it's like, what's it called in court when you have the jury? You have the jury, but the jury's just your fucking classmates, right? Mm-hmm. So if you can get your classmates to laugh or like be on your side, you can pretty much win it, right? It's not that serious. And so we went up there, did our thing, improv'd it, right? And then they went up there. They had like a 5-page thing like stapled together. They had like a speech all written out, right? And like they're going, and it's like 10 minutes later, and they're still talking. And Brian, like I'm kind of like, you know how I do this? I just kind of lean forward, and Brian's kind of like this at this point. And the girl says something like blah 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 blah. But the prosecuting attorney doesn't want you to know is, and then she says something, and as she says that, Brian's like this. He looks at me and he goes, "How did she know?" And then I fucking die. And it was one of those things where like, you ever like, let's just make eye contact with your friend and you fucking explode, right? Mm-hmm. It got so bad and like everyone was just looking at me and it was like disrespectful, right? She's up there. They didn't hear exactly. And so they're all like taking this whole thing real serious. And so at that point, I'm giggling and I can't get it under control. I look at Mr. Hansen, he's not amused, and I just stand up and go, I gotta go. And I just walk out of the classroom. I just leave. I get myself, I calm down, get all the giggles out, go back inside. This bitch is still talking. Her fucking speech was so long, right? I walk inside, everyone looks at me, and Brian's smug ass goes, I just lose it again. So I was like, I gotta go. And then when I come back, I open the door and go, and then close it again. And then I have to go back out. And then eventually I come back. But that was like my worst case of fucking giggles, dude.
Mr. Hansen didn't say anything?
No, Mr. Hansen, like, dude, I asked Mr. Hansen why he was a teacher, and he said because he gets summers off. I don't think he takes it too serious.
Mr. Hansen was like legitimately bullied a couple of kids. Like Nathan.
Keep going. Okay, I got something to show you guys.
Do you guys remember Nathan? Right, you remember him? So he was a real class clown at some points. So Mr. Hansen did stuff that I'm not even sure is legal. Like, you know, we'd be grouped up in
that might
desks.
get him fired or arrested?
No, I mean, I'm not going to
say it, we'll cut it out.
I don't think so. Like, just borderline stuff. Like, he made him sit by himself in a corner facing the wall because he would not shut up. Like, every single thing Nathan said was like, haha.
Do you guys have you heard the stories of Logan falling asleep? I think it was Logan, the long-haired one. He always fell asleep. And teachers, like, one of our teachers, like, took like 4 textbooks and then just dropped them right next to him. And he just jumps up, like, and every teacher, one teacher, like, sang opera to him, Miss Fike. Miss
Fike sang opera?
She sang opera to wake him and went into this, like, breakdown because she's like, why do you always fall asleep in my class every time you fall asleep? And then she's like, do you want me to do something more exciting? You want me to sing? And she's like, oh! And then she like...
That's usually, if a kid keeps falling asleep in class, that's probably because he has like a bad home life or something. Like, you probably shouldn't like make fun of a kid for like
I know that,
being tired. I'm just saying that's,
that's a legit thing. Yeah, no, I feel it. A kid who will not shut up, on the other hand, make that fucker sit in the corner.
Kayla, can you switch it to me? So this is also
Say something interesting and I'll switch it.
Oh, I want to. He's fucking got him. All right, so we did another thing in Mr. Hansen's class where it was America versus Russia during the Cold War, and we had to have negotiations between the Russian, I think, what was it called? The premier, and then the American president, right?
And the American president.
No. I looked at the Russian one. I couldn't remember. It was still very funny. The American. My name is Zachary. No. He sounds not amused.
Find your next line.
No. So we had this thing where we had to like negotiate terms when like there was like a high pressure. If you guys don't figure this out in 3 minutes, we're a simulation. The world's gonna get nuked. Everyone dies, right? And so I don't know if I just raised my hand. Somehow I became the Russian premier, right?
Yeah.
So I was the head of Russia, and some girl was the head of America, right?
This is Vladimir Putin's memoirs, like, and fucking somehow
God, dude, don't do that fucking laugh. Stop. You know what it sounds like? What's that comedian who looks like a puppet? No. The English guy who like
Jimmy Carr.
Yes, that's Jimmy Carr's laugh. Dude, he sounds like a Jimmy Carr laugh. That's totally what it fucking is. Levy Carr.
It is. No, I forgot he had such. I was like, oh well, Seth Rogen's the only one with a terrible. They all have terrible.
Have you seen
laughs,
that video that's like "Help My Lawnmower" sounds like Seth Rogen's laugh, and it goes, this kid's like, ruh, 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 and then it goes to Seth Rogen, ha 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 ha. He like freaks out and like runs off camera.
Have you seen Aziz Ansari laugh? He's like a monkey.
I think I saw him on the roast of James
Franco.
He's like, ah! He looks like
maybe he's just like a person who's yelling, you know? Maybe he's just...
All right, so somehow, I don't know. I'm super embarrassed about this because of this note, because he gave us feedback afterwards, and I've kept the feedback from that event all these years because it destroyed my confidence
to give you feedback. Because he does that. That's the other thing. Mr. Hansen will grade you like he's exactly honest, like you, Zach. He'll just look at you to be like, you did a bad job because you didn't put in any effort. Because you know who are all those kids who will be like, I really tried. And some of them did really try, but you could tell when they didn't. So Mr. Hansen would be like, no, you didn't.
Dude, just hearing you say, I can see his blank stare fucking face. It's so good. But anyway, so I went into this negotiation and I laid down my terms and I said, these are my terms. If you don't agree to them, we'll be dining in hell tonight. Like I went in and I was like, I'm willing to die type thing. And then no one was agreeing to it. And then it got down to like the last like 20 seconds or something. And then I was writing up the treaty and I snuck some shit in and then threw it over to their side. And it was like counting down. And they were like, wait, we didn't agree to this? I was like, sign the paper. Like I was doing that type of shit, right?
Yeah.
And then we failed and everyone blew up and died. And so then like the next day, we got our notes. And this was what Mr. Hansen said about my performance, okay? I'm so embarrassed about this.
Okay.
Your confrontational tone really prevented any authentic dialogue from occurring. You are, quote, you are not succumbing to my demands, end quote, is not an appropriate comment for the leader to make. You never called or had 3 of your teammates talk. You did ask them if you should sign the treaty, but that was it. The role of the president, or in my case, the premier, was to get all the members on your team to participate, and you did not do that. Also, your willingness to purposefully go to war ruined the simulation for your teammates. You basically hijacked the entire activity and made it about you.
Ooh.
Dude. Oof. My fucking soul. I've held on to this. Anytime I get too cocky, I just read this. It puts me in my place. By the way, still got 23 out of 30 points.
I just see him writing this serious note. 23 out of 30. Like, what is he thinking?
Well, his class, if you tried, you automatically got 50%.
That's called trying?
No. So, like, for example, hold on. So for
Did they get worse grades?
I don't fucking remember. Probably not. They all probably got 30 or some shit.
5 out of 30.
But like, if you like, I had a book report or something where you had to like do a little pamphlet. Like, you're supposed to read this thing and do a pamphlet of like propaganda, right? And I forgot about it. And like, he was going around collecting it from people, so I just took a piece of paper, folded it in half, and wrote like 2 words on each paper, turned it in, got 50%.
Oh.
Right? And so it was literally, you just have to participate and you get 50%. So I deserved 8 more points than 50%.
That's like
Christ.
I wonder if the other people got
now we just know what to say.
When the premiere is not allowing you to participate, you're supposed to organize a coup, and you're like, just lost like grades because they did nothing.
I know. That would have been great though if one of them had been like, no, just come up, shot you in the back of the head.
I am premier now. I will prevent war from happening because I care about children I have at home.
Yeah.
God, but now we know what to say to destroy your confidence. If you're ever egging us on, like, wow, Zach, you're really making this whole show about you.
No, you have to say
now.
You're really hijacking the show and making it all about yourself. But dude, that cut so deep, and I was like, fuck. You know what the worst thing is? When someone critiques you and you're like, fuck, they're right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
you're like, that is exactly.
That is exactly what happened. Oh man.
Actually, having someone critique you and it be wrong is also very frustrating.
See, I can move on from that stuff.